All right, in this video, we're doing official lines of regression. So this is something that we are going to use our calculators to do. So make sure while you're watching this video that you have your calculator. Do this along with me so that you can practice it. You might even want to write down some step-by-step, steps that we took while we were doing this, okay? So we've got percent sales made in music stores right here. So years go by, we've got fewer sales happening in music stores, and I'm assuming, obviously, that's because things are happening online now. So use a graphing calculator to make a scatter plot of the data. So here is the part that you are going to want to follow my lead on. So make sure you have a calculator, make sure you're doing what I'm doing. All right, so here's your main screen. You're going to want to select this option, New Document. And then if there was anything open, no, you don't need to save it. We're going to do lists and spreadsheets. That's that fourth option there. So select that, and then you'll get basically like an Excel spreadsheet. So go up to the very top box right here, and then just type in year. So down in your alpha pad down there, you can type in year. And then we're just going to enter all of this data. So 1999, and hit enter. And then 2000, so you can type it in right here, right on this keypad. And then the enter button will take you to your next box. Then 2001, and hit enter. Next is 2002, and we're just going until we hit 2008. And just hitting enter as you go. Okay, so we've got all 10 years down the line there. So what you do after is you just take this arrow, go over to the right, and just arrow up until you get all the way to the top box. There we go. Whoops. Okay, so now that top one in column B should be highlighted, and just type in sales. Again, just down on your alphabet pad. Okay, we skip over that box. We don't need to put anything in there. Now we're going to type these in. So now type very carefully. So 44.5, and then hit enter. Same thing as before. You're just hitting enter to go to the next box. Then 42.4 in 2000, 42.5 for 2001. So I'm just going down the list, and I'm just entering in all of these pieces of data that we have. Okay, so make sure you're doing this along with me. Muscle memory. If you practice it, you'll actually remember how to do it. So you should have all those typed in. They should be lined up evenly with each other. So get all that done. If you don't have your data entered, please pause the video before I do this next step and make sure it's entered. So now we're going to add a new page to our document. So this control button, the blue one over here, I want you to hit that button first. And then this button that says document, if you look closely up above in blue, it says add page. Okay, and what we're going to add is option number 5 here, data and statistics. Okay, so now all of your data should look like that. All of the ordered pairs that you just entered into that table are just kind of spread all around because we haven't told them how to organize themselves yet. Okay, so we need to pick axes. So it should say click to add variable, click to add variable. So you're going to click right here. Or you can hit enter actually. We want to make the year go along the x-axis like that. So select year and hit enter, and your data will just fly and organize itself. It's actually pretty cool. So there it goes. So now it's all organized along the x-axis. You have all those years typed in. Now hit enter again. Oops, sorry. Go over here. Click down, or you can hit enter, and then select sales. And now it'll organize itself into a line. So it looks like that. So just like we thought, as the year goes on, the numbers are decreasing in terms of sales, which makes sense. This is kind of a loose correlation, though. This is not as strong as the other one was. Okay, so those are your steps to actually input your data. So there's your scatter plot that you have. Next, it says find a graph of, or I should say, of a line of regression. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to do this part. So your calculator should look like this. Now what you're going to do is hit the menu key. Okay, so you should have a menu that looks like that. And then you're going to select the fourth option, Analyze. So hit Enter. And then there's the regression lines right there. Okay, so go down to that sixth option, hit Enter again. And then you want to just select that first one, show linear regression. So hit enter, and it will give you that line. Okay, so that line that it plots right there, that is the perfect line of regression. It does a bunch of calculations to make sure that it's the best possible line. We call that the line of best fit. So the function that you have right there, you can write that down on your page, and that is your line of regression. And then we're going to do one more thing with it. So we've got y equals negative 1.44242 times x. It's a negative slope, which makes sense because it's a negative correlation, plus 2926.68. So that is your equation that we got off of our calculator. Then finally it says use the function to predict the percent of sales made in 2018. Okay, so for this step you're going to plug in 2018 right into the equation, and that's just going to go in there for x. And we're going to do the same thing that we did at the end of the last video. So y equals, take your whole function exactly the way it is, and then we're going to plug in 2018. That's our new x value to find a prediction. Okay, so all I'm doing right now, I'm just writing down what I'm about to plug into my calculator. So you can always remember that control button and then document. You can add a new page because we need a calculator page to plug this in. So negative 1.44242 times 2018, that's what we're plugging in. Oops, that's blocked, sorry. And then plus 2926.68. And then hit enter to get our prediction. So it thinks about 15.9%, which makes sense. That's still in the future. And not a lot of music sales are actually getting business. So that is our approximation based on our line of regression. All right.